Good morning, Namaskar. In Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat India, addressing to all people in this country as well as otherwise. This morning, this is January 4th, 2020, and our nation cannot improve. That's a fact. It's understood that it's understood that there is no meaning in our improvement and we have no policy to improve. I can with proclamation state that our our Bharat कौन है हाँ है मैं क्या है हाँ या लीक कर रहा है पीछे से देखो बताता हूँ मैं आपको 1 मिनट प्लीज हाँ 1 मिनट हाँ सॉरी जनरल सॉल्व ऑन मिनट Okay, disturb now. So this is today's program. Today's submission of data yesterday, that is January 3rd, and today is January 4th, and it has been very clear from data that come what may, we are not going to change. हमें कुछ हो जाए, हम बदलने वाले नहीं हैं. I posted also my comments about this. Let me just tell you that Sunday means for us, yesterday was Sunday, and Sunday for us means rest day, sleeping day. Though there may be fire on our building or there may be tsunami in cities, Sunday means we have to sleep and rest. Let me go to yesterday's of state, every state and union territory, and this report is here state-wise. This is here you can say state, total cases, active cases, discharge cases, deaths, active ratio, discharge ratio, and death ratio. This is our country name and states, and COVID-19 report of 4th annual रिपोर्ट ऑन 4th, pertinent 3rd, 3 तारीख की, 3 जनवरी की रिपोर्ट, 4 तारीख को, आज 4 जनवरी 2021 कल की रिपोर्ट। और हमने देखना है, वी हैव टू फाइंड सॉल्यूशंस टू दिस प्रॉब्लम हियर व्हिच इज कंट्रोल स्केड्यूल, वी हैव टू सी so we can say Maharashtra, if we start with that, Maharashtra 19.42136 lakhs, these are active cases, you can say total number of cases, update of cases actually, अब तक जितने केस हुए हैं वो हैं ये। महाराष्ट्र 19.421336 lakhs, कर्नाटक 9.21938 lakhs, आंध्र प्रदेश 8.83082 lakhs, तमिलनाडु 8.20712 lakhs, Kerala 7.75852 lakhs, Delhi 6.26872 lakhs, Uttar Pradesh 5.88171 lakhs, West Bengal 5.54975 lakhs, Odisha 3.30309 lakhs, Rajasthan 3.09821 lakhs, Telangana 2.87740 lakhs, Chhattisgarh 2.823868 lakhs, Haryana 2.63068 lakhs, Bihar 2.52857 lakhs, Gujarat 2.47228 lakhs, Madhya Pradesh 2.44026 lakhs, Assam 2.16004 lakhs, Punjab 1.67219 lakhs, Jammu and Kashmir 1.21653 lakhs, Jharkhand 1.15529 lakhs, Uttarakhand 91,811, Himachal Pradesh 5,568, Goa 5,129, Pondicherry 3,822, Tripura 332, Manipur 2,828, Chandigarh 1,988, Arunachal Pradesh 167, Meghalaya 1,346, Nagaland 119, Ladakh 95, Sikkim 59, Andaman Nicobar 49, Mizoram 4, Dadra Nagar Haveli 33, and Lakshadweep 0. This is update in the formation of cases. Then there are active and discharge and deaths. I'm not going to speak about this because percentage is there and I'm talking about percentage of this. This column is for active ratio, this column is for discharge ratio, and this column for death ratio. And these are data there, and average I am taking here for these projections. And this is average of active cases, active percentages, this is discharge percentages, and this is death percentages. It seems that they are keeping constant. For many days it has been constant 1.2%. Okay, fine, it doesn't make a difference to me. How to you? क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कुछ भी दिखाते रहें. लेकिन active plus deaths जो है, this and this, that is 3.39%. That is a point of concern here. We have to be serious about this because 3.3% destruction is there. In fact, we can say, okay, you are saying you have saved them, let us agree you have saved them, though you did nothing, there is no contribution from government towards this, but let us say on one part, we forget them for timing and say, okay, this plus this, 3.39 and 3.39, sum of active percentage and that percent is quite big. 3.39 is not small because 1.2% have lost their lives and 2.19 who may lose their life or who may not lose their life, but we can see that it's a question. It's a question because we have to see where is schedule, we have to see where is population standing, we have to see what are your programs, we have to see how to solve those problems, we have to see how to maintain that status because it's not going to stop in 1 day or 2 days, it's going to work even up to 2024, and maybe even up to 29, this is according to what information that we are getting from many scientists and many others. Though these may not be authentic information, may be personal views of those, but fact remains that we don't know anything about कोविड-19 और स्ट्रेन और वेरिएंट टिल नाउ हमें नहीं पता अब तक क्या हुआ इसके बारे में, कहाँ से आया, कैसे जनरेट कर रहा है, क्या टेक्नोलॉजी है इसके पीछे और क्या पैथोलॉजी है इसके पीछे. Still we are unclear about that. So up to 2020 is expected to know something about that, and up to 2020 it may go downgrade or downfall of COVID-19 could be possible in 2029, we cannot say today. So that all this requires certain information for our country because our country is not having any solid information about this. So let us see. This is a graph here. You can see this graph based on this data which is projected here. I'll just going to explain what it is. And also this is individual deaths here. And first, before that, I would say what government is claiming. That is very important point. Government is claiming something they should not claim, which is written here. Government of India is taking all necessary steps to ensure that we are prepared well to face challenge and threat posed by growing pandemic of COVID-19 coronavirus with active support of people of India and ex-support of people of India is saying, yes, active support coronavirus with active support of people of India, we have been able to contain spread of virus in our country. Most important factor in preventing spread of virus locally is to empower citizens with right information and taking precautions as per advisories being issued by Ministry of Health, Welfare. This is claim government of India is making. How far do you agree with this claim? You have to decide. I am not going to agree with even 1% of this claim, because they have done nothing except publication of data, and publication of data, it doesn't even count to 1% of actions. So there is no action. Just floppy action, sloppy action, no action, lip service, I can say, because this number of death is telling that, and number of active cases are telling that. Now, we'll say, okay, this is, let's consider 1.2% cases of death only, and then we'll say sum of this and that. So 1.2% of cases say that, yes, हो गया? अब नहीं कर रहा लिख? अब लिख नहीं कर रहा है बिल्कुल? नहीं. एक OTP आया हुआ है. हाँ, कोड आया हुआ है. खाली कर दिया था? हाँ, थोड़ा छोड़ दिया था. चलो, कोई बात नहीं है. पूरा नहीं किया. इसका कोड है 5331. 5331. हाँ. 430. इसको चेक भी कर लिया अपन, ठीक है नहीं? हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक आ रहा है. कहाँ कर रहे हैं? So 1.2% is that percentage, which is very, very serious issue in our country. We cannot say, oh, it's only 1.2%, so there is nothing. If we say that, we are nothing but mads. Our country is 130 crore people, and 1.2 itself is 13 × 26, 12 × 144 is 13 × 26. 1.56, you can say. 1.56 crore people we are putting at stake, and we are saying there's nothing. How can it be possible? 1.2% people, they are saying so far death number is this 1.2% of those who caught this or contracted COVID. This means 1.2% is, they call it because the number of testing is very low. If you see sheet 1 here, you will find number of tests is only 17,56,35,761. 17,56,35,761 लोगों के टेस्ट हुए. 17,56,35,761 लोगों के टेस्ट हुए, जबकि हमारी पॉपुलेशन 130 करोड़ है. आपने 13.5% टेस्ट किए. यू जस्ट टेस्टेड 13.5 करोड़, 13.5 lakhs. I'm sorry, 13.51% of people, and you are claiming that we have done our job. How can it be? Just 13.5% work you have done of testing. You have done only 13.5, and you are saying we have only saved 93.84% population. How can you say that? This is something illogical, irrelevant, and just giving fake information, irrelevant information, useless, futile information. Are we sitting here to read futile knowledge, futile submission? Only 13.5% people, and you are claiming that you got it. Your claim is very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Language of that claim is dangerous. It is misleading whole nation, and in fact it is misleading whole world. Because in this connection of COVID-19, we are part of world in an integrated way. It's not a separate country issue. It's issue of all group nations, all 180 to 200 nations, and we are one of them. Maybe WHO did not notice this, but we as a responsible country should note ourselves. We should analyze ourselves. दैट इज़ आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। हमारी जिम्मेदारी है कि विश्व का एक समूह का देश होते हुए जो पैंडेमिक से लड़ रहा है, हमारी अपनी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि WHO इसको देखे ना देखे, दूसरी कंट्रीज इसको देखे ना देखें, लेकिन हमारी फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है इस बात को समझना कि हम कितने काम कर रहे हैं। खुश हो जाना कि 93.8% ठीक हो गए, बड़े बड़े दुख की बात है। कहते रहिए आप ठीक हो गए, क्या ठीक हो गए? वेरिएंट से बचा लिया आपने उनको, स्टेन से बचा लिया आपने उनको, फिर क्या ठीक हो गए? 2.19% जो एक्टिव उनको क्या होगा कौन जानता है? वी डू नॉट नो व्हाट शैल हैपन टू 2.19% दैट इज एक्टिव टुडे, दोस केसेस आर एक्टिव टुडे, व्हाट शैल हैपन टू देम? वी कैन नॉट से एनीथिंग. So what I'm doing is I'm just projecting this data on my own formula, and that is very easy formula, and whoever can understand that. This is that projection here. So we say that month-wise we take, and a frequency of a quarter of a year, that is 3 months, we take 1 to 4 to 7 to 10 to 13 to 16 to 19 to 20 to 25. We are just considering a period of 2 years, you can say, and we are considering the population hazard, how it is, conduct more tests, how it is, conduct rapid test, how it is, how shall it work if we resolve like this? Because we have 1.2% death rate, we consider that one, and we consider population 130 crore, and in that we can say this 1.2%, if you count on 130 crores and not on 13.5% only, we can say, which is 17 crore, here is 130, there is a lot difference, is 1.56 crore deaths coming up proportionally. It may be more, it may be less, I can't say. But because we have 1.2%, so I'm just using 1.2%, probably it shall increase, can't decrease in coming time, and we have to apply a factor of 0.25, 0.25 to every quarter. So 1.2 goes to 1.5 when we apply, you can see this formula, this 1.2 into 1.25, and then further it goes to 1.88%, 2.34%, 2.93%, 3.66%, 4.58%, 5.72% and 7.15%. This goes in approximately 2-year closure. And then this rises from 1.56 crore to 1.95 crore, and then rises to 2.44 crore, then to 3.05 crore, then to 3.81 crore, then to 4.76 crore, 5.95 crore, 7.44 crore, and 9.3 crore, and that is represented here. You can see that one, and also you can see here it's represented. You can see this one. This individual death chart, and this is combination of that chart and other timings, etc. And this is noting that I just read to you. What is that? Now, question is that we are just depending on 1.2%, but we have to consider this part also, and how many possibilities, how many percent possibilities are there, crores are there, and we say, okay, I take into consideration rather than this, and we add to this one, and we can say, you can see now, it goes from 4.4 crores to 5.5 crore to 6.88 crore to 8.6 crore to 10.75 crore to 13.44 crore to 16.79 crore to 20.99 crore to 26.24 crores, and you can see how upgrade this chart is. What you can say, that curvature like this has gone like that, and you can see this. There's a big change in this curve, angle change, and you can say amount of death change here. So I just go back again to 1.2 because I'm not just trying to scare. It's a question of just analyzing how best we can analyze. That's our capability, and then we have to see how can we solve this, which come back here and go to sheet 1. You can say, if you see data as published today, it's something different, because before that I'll go to explain to you what I'm doing. This number of days here, number of date of days here, remarks here, and this is population. This is 130 crore in every row for purpose of calculation, so it don't confuse about that. This requirement of worksheet, and this is percentage of how many percent of population we are testing every day. This is shameful, really. It's very low figure. Yesterday we tested 0.057%, 0.057, not even, you can say, not even 1%. 0.057, 57% of 1%, you can say, 57% of 1%. And before that we tested 74% of 1%, and before that 64% of 1% and 82% of 1% like this, and we have no other better record except 99% of 1%, that was on 29th 11th. 99% of 1%. I don't think there's any 1% data here. There's no 1%. I'll be happy if there is at least 1%. It's not at all. Well, now we go to total test update. Total tests done so far till yesterday, it was 17 crore 56 lakhs 35,761. This is total test, and you can say this is equivalent to population of 13.51% of 130 crores, and remaining population of 86.49 crores. There's no information about them, test program or something, nothing is available. And we go to next one, and that is daily tests conducted, how many tests were conducted daily, and there is we should feel ashamed of. So there are 2 points. One, this is yesterday's statistics of records of testing. Number is 7,35,978. I think everybody should be shameful just because it was Sunday. We did not test Saturday and Sunday, and we bring down number of tests because we are very comfortable country. We have to believe in sleeping. Sleeping is more important than saving people of this country from COVID-19. And this is what we call war rival, means at war footing we sleep, and then what happened when this peace, I don't know, it is 7,35,978 in war footing, and there's no war, it should be, I think they will not work at all. And this 86.49%, that is, you can say 112.44 crore people are still in doldrum. We can say that they do not know what shall happen to them. And this figure of 5.66567, that is average per day. If you take how many tests we have conducted, if you keep 310 in mind, because it's today 310 days if you count from since March 2020, it is 310 days, and 310 days we have done only this work. This means we have to divide this value by 310, and we get this 5.66567. You can see that formula here, F11 over C, this value of rho. So we have here, you can say 86.5%, let's say 49% people without test, which is very worrisome, and we have to be very critical. And this 73594, this is really drop of 35%. You see, this is 10. If we compare 4 days back, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you compare 4, 5 days back, here. Sorry, there's a formula here. I use this in last 5 days. If you compare this in last 5 days, we find this value here. We find this here, and that's really very, very unfortunate that we could not do this really. So why this phone, for what they are calling, I don't know. Hello? Hello? Bloody fool though, he's just not calling now. Nonsense people. Disturbing for what I don't understand. Okay, so we say if you compare yesterday's testing to just 4 days back, that was on 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days back, 5th day back, you can say, that was in 2020, of course, and it is 31st December. If you compare to 31st December to yesterday, it is 35% down. That is where I'm concerned, And if you compare to yesterday, that is 3rd January and 4th January. 3rd January is 106. If you compare that, if you can 106 here, I can say 106 if you take here, and this is 106 as well. So this is 34% down. Just a minute. Let me see here. 106, no, 10110. So it is 23% down if you compare to last day, and it was 35% down if you compare 5 days back. So that's the problem here, means we have no guarantee, we have no program how to move further. And that's where we are serious. We should be serious. We are not serious. You can say, I said we are serious. We are not serious at all. And this column is for infection update. How many infections have been reported every day? And that is means updated infection in our country till yesterday. It is 1 crore 3,40,469, 1 crore 3,40,469, 1 crore 3,40,469 इन्फेक्शन अभी तक हुए हमारे रिपोर्ट के हिसाब से जो हम मिल रही है सरकारी रिपोर्ट. This report we are getting from government of this country, from their website. You can see these 5 columns which I am showing to you, yellow highlighted column. This data in all these 5 columns is from government and nothing to do with our own work. I am just using this data for purpose of conducting this analysis and informing you of where we stand today. There's only this figure we have 1 crore 3,40,469 infections till today. And that is a question mark here because we have to understand this now. Now this also column says that everyday infection how many? This is for everyday infection, daily infections, and this is they're showing 16,504, and I think they consider this point victorious. Yes, this is what their control point is, basis point is. No, this one control base that this is 16,504, that they would claim, see one time we were 90 something, here they were 90 something. If you see some time back here, you can say this point 19 something here, 90 no lakh something here now, and then 95 were here, 96 were here, 97 570 they were maximum, 97,570 was you can say declaration of COVID patient in one day, and now they would claim, see we have come down from 97,570 to 16,504. But they would not tell this is based on 13.51% of total test. You just conducted 77,35,978 tests, and this is result. And now if you take into consideration here, I have taken here three values, three you can say statistical values, data values, and one is here, that is 11th one here. One is this. This tells that there is, you can say, 2.25% positive cases of total tests done. 2.24, there's 16,504 cases declared out of 735,978 tests done. So this is 2.24%. If you go back to other day, here you will find 1.9% and over 2.3% other day. So these three data you can see here, this and this, if you find percentages of this, this and this, this one and this one, this one and this one, if you relate them, we'll find that 2.24% yesterday, 2.2% people were declared positive out of those tested. Here before yesterday, day before yesterday, 1.9% people of those tested were declared positive, and before, you can say 2 days before, 2.3% people were declared positive, and average of these three is 2.15%, and this says that every day we must have 2.79 crores detections. You know that, because I am saying here average is 2.15 in 3 days, so you can say if you use this figure in relation to 130 crore people, you can say 2.79 crores people infection exists, Though it's imaginary, we are just using data, so we can't claim this, but this is what analysis speaks. And total deaths update is 1,49,649 according to government data. This may be right, may not be right, can't say, because everybody has not been recorded in deaths. Those who do not go to hospital, maybe they die also, but we do not know about them. So it is what it is in this case, and then we have to understand. Now, this data which I shared with you now, it's from since March 1 last year, and this says something very different. Now, as I said, this percentage already discussed with you. 35% drop and 34% drop and like whatever it is. And 35 crore people, according to my understanding, 35 crore people must have been infected currently or maybe more, and this data is 9%, 9 crore, which is according to this when we convert to total population, because this population is here and we come to this one, we get this data. And also there was, this is data which says this is 16,504 people were detected yesterday, but that is only for 13.5% people or 17.56 crore. When we apply this data to 130 crore, we say yesterday's declaration should have been 1,22,157. I repeat, 1,22,507 cases must have been declared yesterday. 1,22,57 कल हुए होंगे जो कि वो 16,504 कह रहे हैं, 16,000, because we have to consider whole population, and that is 122,157, 1,22,507. ये हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, मैं कोई किसी को फोर्स नहीं कर रहा है इसको मानने के लिए. और हम कह सकते हैं बहुत स्लो काम चल रहा है, वेरी वेरी स्लो वर्क इज गोइंग ऑन. It's a must avoid adding additional resources that we do not know what we have or what we don't have. And we can say that unfortunate it is that work is going so slow, and we don't know how nation can digest this. And you can see this graph, how down they want to keep it down only. That's only more. You can just view this graph very closely so that you can understand. Just 1 minute, please. Must have seen this graph very closely. It's a very important graph. It's telling us where we are standing, what we are doing. And this is really a fabricated graph, you can say. It's really surprising that we are not moving now. I will speak about something as usual so that you are clear with that. I'm going to speak submission. This, of course, it's available on text or video, but everybody cannot read that. So I say report day January 4, pertinent effective day January 3rd. And risk controls and no answers from nation. It's question of risk control. Bharat India, an analytical informative talk on COVID-19 plus variant strain status for January 3, 2021. Reported on January 4, 2021. Government of India provided data-based, worked out spreadsheet, file, screen, share for national awareness. Before going further, I will read again and quote again. Government of India claims as follows, while reality has been indicated below. Now quote from portal is, Government of India is taking all necessary steps to ensure that we are prepared well to face challenge and threat posed by growing pandemic of COVID-19 coronavirus. With active support of people of India, we have been able to contain spread of virus in our country. Most important factor in preventing the spread of virus locally is to empower citizens with right information and taking precautions per advisories being issued by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. भारत सरकार हर स्टेप ले रही है, हर काम कर रही है ये पक्का करने के लिए कि हम अच्छी तरह से तैयार हैं इस कोविड-19 की चैलेंज को सहने के लिए। जो इस कोविड-19 ने हमें पोज किया है, इस पैंडेमिक ने, हम उसको फेस करने के लिए हर सूरत में तैयार हैं। भारत की जनता की सपोर्ट के साथ हम इसको लड़ने के लिए तैयार हैं, इसको ख़त्म करने के लिए तैयार हैं हमारे देश से। और जो सबसे मजबूत चीज़ हमारी है कि हम इसको रोकने में सफल रहे हैं। हमने अपने देश के नागरिकों को शक्ति दी है ताकि वो उससे, हमने सही इन्फॉर्मेशन दी है, हमने सब बताया है कि क्या प्रिकॉशन आपको लेनी है। और हमारी जो मिनिस्ट्री है हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर की, उसने वो सारे काम किए हैं जो करने चाहिए और हमने इसको मजबूती से रोका है। ये दावा है सरकार का। मैं नहीं समझता इस दावे में 1% भी सच्चाई है। आप मान लीजिए, ना मानिए, आपकी मर्जी, लेकिन एक एनालिसिस के हिसाब से, एक एनालिस्ट के हिसाब से, एक यू कैन से एक एक्सपर्ट के हिसाब से, एनालिटिकल एक्सपर्ट के हिसाब से मैं कह सकता हूँ इसमें सच्चाई सिर्फ इतनी है कि हमको ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स रोज़ दे रहे हैं, पब्लिश कर रहे हैं और हम उसको देख लेते हैं, चाहे तो, नहीं तो उसको इग्नोर करते हैं। लेकिन मिनिस्ट्री समझती है अपने अपना काम कर दिया। Ministry thinks that by publication of statistics every day they have done their job and people shall take care of everything. You just write something on your notification. People know what is precautionary measure, but are they doing that? Question is this: if they do not comply with that, this means they do not honor what you say on your publication. People are not supposed to disqualify or dishonor your publication, but they are not accepting that as well because they are careless, or you are careless, or whatever it is. You think if you write something on paper, it works, it doesn't work at all. So my dear people, it's really very, very, you can say, contradictory statement here, because government has done nothing. Most important point was testing of people, and that has not been done. In just more than 310 days, they have just tested 13-point-something% people, which is not adequate. 13.51% only, and 86.49% have not been tested because there is no initiative from government. Well, I'm just going to read further. Then there are URLs, which are there are about 30 URLs regarding my postings, and there are video URLs, which are about 43 about videos. And I'll add today's video into this list. Now it says COVID-19 strain variant report update for January 2021 forum. Bharat public must think very seriously about how to achieve risks or loss prevention by application of required pertinent measures in relation to COVID-19 plus explosion, because nothing is being seriously done by our nation. Buildings always remains prone to fire, but if loss prevention method is applied, loss to life and property can be minimized. So this also applies to COVID-19 plus issue. Possible magnitude of risk must be understood or evaluated by analyzing its power, and then based on analysis, practical applicable solution must be searched and finalized prior to it is too late. COVID-19 strain variant has already spread in many countries such as Bharat, Canada, UK, Australia, European area, Singapore, Hong Kong, Sweden, Jordan, many more countries including Egypt. Bharat India has had crossed many days back in 2021 crore COVID-19. Also many cases of variant strain have been reported from various parts in our country, Bharat India. India out of 130 crores, only 17.56 crores or only 13.51 population tested, 86.49% population certainly remain untested, and there is no such program from government that they will be tested. There is no confirmation, nothing, and no initiative. No worry for even COVID-19 is 10% government of India or the people of Bharat India, as mostly people of ours have become sheer, careless and ignorant. No plan is available for remaining 86.49% population who have been remaining untested, which has made it impossible to fix certain required milestones and schedule out prospective time-scale-based plan to combat COVID-19 impacts. Testing speed has been non-conducive, extremely unsatisfactory. Illustrated of future of COVID-19 Bharat cannot be correctly predicted. The forecast are predicted analytically. In this connection, I sent emails many days past in 2020 giving many of above URLs to government, of which email acknowledgement have been received, but no further response from government received, and no other planned scheme informed by government, and it is not expected anymore either. No change or extending program is available, no projection of any program is available. In fact, testing speed has been still really outstandingly unsatisfactory. No reported indication seems to be on part of government effort to an extent testing on whole population is concerned. Government effort does not take any responsibility for test to common citizens. It is assumed to be responsibility of citizens to have test if one feels that it is affected or symptomized by COVID-19 plus. The Government of India has distanced itself from owning public health responsibility. Total tests conducted up to January 3rd equal to 17 crore 56 lakh 35,761. Tests conducted on January 3rd only 7 lakh 35,978. Total corona infection till January 3rd is equal to 1 crore 3 lakhs 40,469, 1 crore 3 lakh 40,469. Positive cases declared on January 3rd, so 16,504 only, which is nothing but manipulated data by government. That's update till January 3rd, so 1,49,649, that's only recorded. Population tested 13.51 crore only, and 13.51% only since March 2020. Remaining population remaining without test 86.49%. Time required for whole population test is 1279 days, but time required for remaining population testing is 1107 days, which is very, very important figure. 1107 days, 1107 days, 1107 din. Is 1279 or 1107 required is admissible, whether public has to accept it or public has to reject it. Public has to consider this point very seriously. National interest. Why is government not improving its bad performance? Not clear. Government of India doesn't respond and shall not respond at all, just to protect its own skin. Government of India has actually ignored poor lower class society members from testing. Why is government sleeping? No answer, and public too sleeping. Unknown worryless state of public in this regard. Government of India does not look anxious to test all citizens. Testing speed is too slow. Why should people of Bharat India suffer for none of their faults? Only sufferers are poor section in society who cannot afford treatment and testing. Why are suffering people not raising their voices? Not clear how people become voiceless. People of Bharat India are not living as slaves, but have become virtual slaves of Karan Modi's regime. Why has government left its responsibility on the people onto their own? It seems that all people shall not be tested because till now no such policy seems to exist, and no addition as such a non-existing policy of government has been observed. Really speaking, there exists no government policy towards public handling of COVID-19 strain. Plus, have tested yourself, dear poor members of society, if you want to get rid of this. Poor people, if you intend to copy COVID-19 test it, do it by your own expense because no government exists for you. Spend 1,200 to 2,400 rupees for each test. After testing is over and having detected positive, pay for your treatment as well, along with medical assistance costs. Medical assistance costs. Remember that medical attendant charges 1,500 to 3,000 rupees per day if you isolate in your own room. Also expenses of attendant, food, housing and lodging you have to afford. You have to buy protocol-related medicines, injections, oxygen if required, and pay for ventilator as well, and all PPE is necessary for attendant and for yourself. If you stay in hospital, room rent itself could cost you around 10,000 or 20,000 per day, a minimum. Therefore, be ready with many lakhs rupees. People shall have to decide for themselves. For their access, no one responsible for you from government. COVID-19 virus explosion has to happen. Come what may due to inefficient sleeping attitude of government and lethargic public, COVID-19 shall certainly explode in Bharat. Indian form of COVID-19 plus variant strain nuclear fission. A nation where neither public is serious nor government is serious, nothing other than anticipated the explosion would happen. A society that remains non-serious and on top of that sleeping shall have to face those of offending adverse results for sure, for certain. A nation that cannot think to resolve problems seriously, such results are imminent thereat. Nation cannot wait for many years to have preventive measures, prevention implementation from impact of COVID-19. Out of my understanding, 1.3 billion people, including many grow intellectuals, but lips are stitched perfectly. They don't want to speak. Speak of all to take necessary action because government is totally lethargic. People must think for nation and not government. Government is trying to ignore COVID-19 by diverting issues. Think to get a working government, not current sleeping one, because we want active government. Chowkidar, political guard can also sleep, and that's true, and often they sleep, and it's proven that they are sleeping. He is sleeping, I can say that. My intention is not to defame someone, there's no cause for defaming, but fact is that we are a sleeping society, we are a sleeping government. We are inefficient society, we are inefficient government, we are drastically failure. No interest by government and no interest by population to handle this smoothly and with determination. No change in policy, and there actually it exists no policy, no seriousness in Bharat India, sleeping status we have. So what can I say? You know what I have spoken, you know it very well, how it applies to us and to others. Very, very serious stage it is, and you can say, as I said, now what we have to understand here we have to understand this point is very, very interesting one. We have to understand this point because there are three issues every day I say. Issue is testing, then issue is treatment, and then issue is how to handle those who have been discharged. This is very big three questions. There are three questions which are alarming question. Testing status. Testing status, we are complete failure. We have not done anything. Just 13.51% people, which is nothing ignorable, you can say, in 10 months. You cannot do that. How can we do it further times? That's very interesting. So we have to think about that, number one. Number two is, once people have been tested, or whatever number of people are tested, what about those who have been discharged? Okay, those who die, they have died, and those who have not died, who have been discharged from their isolation rooms or from their hospital rooms or from wherever they were admitted for 17 days, or they were taking their own care in their own isolation rooms, what shall happen to them in future if variant or strain impacts upon them? That's second point, how to handle it. And third point is, what shall happen to these people, and total status of COVID-19 in coming time, which is very important one. So one is testing, another is treatment, and third is future of those who have escaped it. Because we don't have any schedule, any program, any, you can say, plan so far. I am not saying tomorrow it will not be. Maybe government is working somewhere secretly, hiddenly, and they do not declare anything. I don't know reason behind that. Public should know everything, but doesn't exist, I think. And if they issue program, and that is determined program, committable program, then we shall be happy. So this population issue, and then milestones issue, which means how to control that, you can say how to control it, or how to fix milestones for question one about testing, then treatment issue, which is also similar, and then how to handle future. These are issues for which a schedule is required, a combination schedule, combined schedule for all these three questions, or you can issue separate schedules for testing, one schedule for testing, one schedule for treatment, and one schedule for future eyes, how to view and handle it. And this should be done. If we cannot do this means we are not a nation, we are banana republic. It is scientific work, we have to do it, and by now it should have been done, but we have not done, because we don't know what shall happen up to 2024. How shall this COVID-19 behave? How shall this conduct whole world? People have been suffering in England, UK, they have been suffering in UK and USA. There have been, I think, more than 360,000 deaths and 2 crore cases of COVID infection. In USA, officially it is known. Officially, 2 crore cases. They may not declare, but it is a fact. And 360,000 deaths, 3,60,000 लोग मर चुके हैं, 2 करोड़ केस में हो चुके हैं. ये फिगर है जो अनजानी. आज सुबह मैं पढ़ रहा था. I was just getting one news today morning that 360,000 cases in USA with you can say 360,000 deaths, I'm sorry, and 2 crore cases, 20 million cases. So where do we stand? And you see case of England, 50,000-60,000 per day. France, highest per day. Italy, many other countries of Europe, Sweden, Egypt, Jordan, Singapore. I say you name something, you'll find even Pakistan, which acted best, we did best, it's repeating. So my point is, there is no certainty till now So how are we certain? How our government claiming everything has been done? We are taking due care. How can they claim? On what basis? If they claim, they have every right to claim, but give basis. Tell us where you have done, what you have done. Then we can say, it's expected that up to 2020 we have to suffer, all world has to suffer. Is not guaranteed, but it is expected. What experts speak and how they say, because no one is sure. So we can fix up to 2029, danger lies in. So we have to be, and keeping in view all these statistics that I gave you, which are very, very important one to understand. And if we can understand that, we can think, okay, fine, we are here, we can do this and we can do that. And we can say, okay, this all comments are baseless. If government does something, I hope government should do something. There should be some professional in government who can analyze, who can understand where problem lies in. And when problem lies in, we can see this problem can be resolved this way or that way. There may be many routes or many alternatives for that problem that we have to consider in a technical way, in a way that analysis is done. And engineering is done. It's a kind of social engineering, or it's a kind of escape engineering, you can say, or it's kind of disaster management. This is a kind of disaster management, health disaster management. This is a very important point, because health, safety and environment are basic requirements of whole world. If our people are not healthy, they are affected by such actions of COVID-19. Of course, we shall weaken them. First of all, then we may lose them. So both are important points. Even if they are discharged and weakened, that's loss to nation. And if they lose their life, that is super loss to nation, because we may lose in crores, not in thousands as they are saying. Only we have done 149.69. This is just a fictitious report. Actually, this is wrong, and that they say, if you just relate this to population, you can say this should be multiplied by this value. You can say this is out of 39, or you can say out of how many people were tested so far and how many deaths are there. If you compare this, it's very easy to know. Let's do it here. I think we can do here itself. If you think, let me remove average. Average is not a meaning here. Let us say this happens in how many? This happens, sorry, not this. This happens 149 in how many? This happens in this population, this testing, and our population is D5. So we can say, this is here, and this divided by this, multiplied by D5 into 100, So you see how many deaths are there coming scientific way. You may not understand this way. 149, 649 deaths. Out of this, out of 1 it is this divided by this. Okay, we have to take complete value. That's the only problem here. We have to take complete value. So we will take complete value now, multiplied by 130. So see, this is here, this figure is here. You can see this. This is here. If you remove decimal, you'll find this. This is 11. I think 1.1 crore. How many percent wise it is? Just let us. I think this is confusion in this. Let us take this divided by this and multiply by this 100. This is multiplied by okay, this is same. Yes, 11 crore, This is 11 crore. You can see. If we consider this figure only, what I'm saying, you get my point. I am just considering this figure of 149, 649 out of 17 crore, 56, whatever it is, and then multiplying by total 130 crores. You see this equation, Q11 here, divided by F this one, and multiplying by 130 crore. Percentage wise, this percentage we got here, this percentage is this much. 100, you multiply to get percentage of this value in comparison to this value, relation to this value, and that percentage multiplied by 130 crore people. So we get here 11,07,65427, 11 crore. 11 crore people are at stake if whole population is considered. It's a big jump. That is my worry, because here we say so many people are at stake. This is according to their data. Death, and this is death I'm talking. It's not infection. It's death. It's death, you can say. I should write death. Probability of death. Probability of death, we can say. Death probability. Death probability is this. It's a big question mark here now. Death probability, and we should just keep it like this, We can say this is death probability. This is warning, नहीं कर गया हाँ कर गया पाइप खराब था बदल गया So this is here. नहीं पाइप बदल गया वो पड़ा है उसी में फेंक के निकाल के ओके ज़्यादा नहीं फैली थोड़ी फैली जो थोड़ी फैली है So this figure is very, very dangerous for us. We have to be very clear. See, what I'm trying to give is warning here, give you alert. So you want to see this stage or you want to see testing stage? This is up to you. You want this or you want this increase. If you want to increase this shall increase if this is reduced. If this is reduced every day, if this happens, down, down and down, this shall go up. This is inversely proportional. Lesser number of testings, higher number of deaths. Because those who are not tested, they won't be treated, and if they are not treated, they shall result in disappearance or leaving this earth. And for that we have to consider this point here. Again and again I say, resources is a question mark. Our testing status says that it requires 1107 days for future testing, but we want to reduce them to 91 days, and that is here 3 goes to 12, means 3 months says they require 12 times the resources. If we have so many resources, whatever we have today, we multiply them by 12 and do it so we can conduct tests to 91 days in 3 months. And variance is there, say, if we make 6 and then 6 times, so 6 times to 12 times resources are required to be augmented if we went variance of in 3 months to 6 months. That's what requirement, and that's actually conclusion. And then we should have, you can say, we should have our plan. We should have our plan, which we do not have today, and that is where we are weak. I don't know what claim they have made. That claim is just to please people and to please themselves. They want to self-thumping their back or their waist, but that's not reality. I'm not concerned with government. I'm concerned with people of this country, health of their safety, because health and safety are first requirement in any country. In our country too, if our people suffer, nation suffers. So we have to think this. Safety is a must, health is a must, and then good environment. And we have to think of everything. We have to take control of pollution. We have to take control of health. We have to take control of safety. And if you do that, that's where we have to. That's our milestone actually. That is our final milestone. You can say our aim, our objective is that one. That's only, you can say, what I'm trying to say to everybody. That's where we have to stand. That's very important point here. And if we can, because we are 130 crore people, and our population Bharat population equal to USA population plus Canada population plus England population or UK population plus you can say Europe population and plus GCC population. I think they may not be even equal to ourselves. So we are covering, you can say, population wise, I think around more than half world. We are covering half world, though we are population wise 16%, but population wise, if you see other countries, geographically we cover about half world. So it is our responsibility as citizens of this country that we have to lead in this regard whole world. And that lead can be earned only if we conduct more tests. This figure of 13.51 should be only those who have left testing, who are remaining for testing, while it should be 86.49%. So we should have said today we have conducted 86 point something or 87% people by now, but it is reverse. We are saying these are not tested. That is point of concern. अरे भाई टेस्ट नहीं करेंगे तो पता नहीं लगेगा. सिंपल सी बात है, एक आम आदमी को समझनी चाहिए. वो मज़े में है कि कुछ नहीं होता. हमको कितनी गलत फहमी पैदा कर दी गई है देखिए सरकार की तरफ से, एजेंसीज की तरफ से, कि लोग भ्रम में हैं कि कोविड होता ही कुछ नहीं है, इससे क्या होता है, बहम की कोई दवा नहीं होती है. लोगों के अंदर ऐसी बातें आनी शुरू हो गई हैं जो गलत है. यहाँ तक कि ये आंदोलनकारी जो हमारे फार्मिंग प्रोफेशनल्स हैं ये भी कह रहे हैं कुछ नहीं होता जी. अरे भाई कुछ नहीं होता माना, लेकिन अगर हो गया तो आप क्या करेंगे? ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर को भी सोचना चाहिए. जलसे करता है, स्पीचें देता है पब्लिक में जाके, जो आपके पार्टी वाले हैं वो स्पीचें देते हैं, सारी पार्टी वाले. क्यों भाई? आपको कोई चिंता नहीं है पब्लिक की? पब्लिक ना समझ है, मासूम है, वो आ जाएगी आपकी स्पीच सुनने के लिए, लेकिन एक्चुअली आप उनको धकेल रहे हैं कोविड के इन्फेक्शन में. ये भी सच. यू आर पुशिंग देम towards infection because you are calling them to rallies. Is it right? People themselves are responsible. They are calling them to festivals, they are calling them to parties, they are celebrating the barats, marriage parties. You think that is right? So we have to be little serious society. That's why I'm saying we are not serious. ठीक है, आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है शादी में जाना, आपको सब कुछ करना है, लेकिन अपनी ज़िंदगी की भी रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो भी सोचनी चाहिए. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा आप मत कीजिए, लेकिन आपको सोचना चाहिए कि अगर ऐसा हो गया तो क्या होगा, उसके लिए आप कैसे एक्ट कर रहे हैं. दैट इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट. इफ़ यू डू नॉट नो दैट पॉइंट, you shall lose yourself, you shall lose your family, and you shall lose everyone. That is where I am concerned with that. Otherwise, why should I waste my time for this? For this that is nothing to do with me, but because I understand, because I'm an engineer. I know how controls are done. Controls are our basic requirements in engineering, in construction, in management, in organization. हर जगह कंट्रोल्स बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट हैं. कंट्रोल्स का मतलब जैसे हम कहते हैं कॉस्ट कंट्रोल, और हम कहते हैं कोई और कंट्रोल, हेल्थ कंट्रोल, और हम कह देते हैं सेफ्टी कंट्रोल्स, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल्स, कुछ भी, क्वांटिटी कंट्रोल्स, बजट कंट्रोल्स, कुछ भी हम कहते हैं. बिना कंट्रोल दुनिया नहीं चलती है. इस चीज़ को समझना चाहिए. और हमारी सरकार कहती है हमने सब कर लिया. कमाल की बात है. अगर सब कर लिया होता तो ये डाटा क्यों दे रहे हो? इस डाटा में कुछ नहीं लिखा आपने सिर्फ किया है. पढ़िए आप डाटा, जाइए इस साइट पे, मैं थोड़ी रोक रहा हूँ आपको. आप जाइए, किसने रोका किसी को? ये डाटा साफ साफ कह रहा है आपने कुछ नहीं किया. डाटा देना काफ़ी नहीं है. डाटा का सर को, पैर को, बॉडी को समझना होता है. हमें देखना है कि हमारा पर्पस क्या है, क्योंकि जब हम पैसा खर्च ही रहे हैं डाटा पे, करोड़ों रुपए खर्च रहे होंगे, हर स्टेट से इन्फॉर्मेशन आती होगी, वो इन्फॉर्मेशन पे कितने आदमी लगे होंगे, ट्रांसमिशन होता होगा, फिर कलेक्शन सेंटर पे जो कंट्रोल सेंटर इनका है वहाँ उसकी एंट्री की जाती होगी, कितने लोग एंट्री में लगे होंगे, कितने लोग उसको कंट्रोल करने में लगे होंगे, कितने लोग समझने में लगे होंगे, कितना पब्लिश करते हैं। तो एक बहुत बड़ी चेन है, कंट्रोल चेन, लेकिन वो पूरा कंट्रोल नहीं कर रही, वो खाली डाटा कंट्रोल कर रही है, डाटा दे रही है, ज़बरदस्ती डाटा को मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं, वो गलत है। आप सीधा डाटा दीजिए, कह दीजिए देखिए हमसे अभी तक इतना काम हुआ है, डाटा बता रहा है कि आपके 13 पॉइंट कुछ केस हुए हैं, परसेंट केस हुए हैं, और आप कह रहे हैं हमने सब कर लिया। 13% में आप क्लेम कर रहे हैं। बड़े अफसोस की बात है कि दुनिया में आपको पागल के अलावा कुछ नहीं कहेंगे, या कहेंगे आप लोगों को पता ही नहीं कंट्रोल क्या होता है। कोई भी आदमी का 13% काम जो 10 महीने में किया है, उसके बेस पे कह सकते हैं कि हम सक्सेसफुल हो गए। ये हमारे देश के लोग ही कह सकते हैं, दुनिया में कोई नहीं कह सकता ऐसे। 13% पे आप सक्सेसफुल हो गए, बड़ी अचंभे की बात है। अगर 13% सक्सेसफुल हो जाए तो फिर रह क्या गया? फिर 90% की या 87% की तो बात ही कुछ और है। इसलिए झूठ मत बोलो। ठीक है, आप सरकार हैं, आपको पब्लिक की सिंपैथी लेनी है, आपको दुनिया में दिखाना है कि हम कितने अच्छे हैं, उस बात के लिए ठीक है, आप झूठ बोल के दिखा लीजिए, लेकिन याद रख लेना गलत डाटा काम नहीं आएगा। ये मेरी आपको सलाह है। पब्लिक का ख्याल काम आएगा। आप कह सकते हैं कि हम फेल हुए हैं अभी तक, कोई बात नहीं, एफर्ट्स कीजिए। फेल होना सफलता की मंजिल का रूट है। फेलियर इज रूट ऑफ सक्सेस। अगर आप नहीं समझ पाए तो मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ कि ऐसा कीजिए। मैं एक एनालिस्ट हूँ, इंजीनियर हूँ, सिविल इंजीनियर हूँ, समझता हूँ कैलकुलेशंस को। अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको रास्ता नहीं मिला तो मैं बता रहा हूँ, आप रिसोर्सेज बढ़ाइए और टेस्ट कीजिए। जितना ज़्यादा टेस्ट आप करेंगे, मेरे हिसाब से आपको 1.25 करोड़ टेस्ट करने चाहिए। अगर 1.25 करोड़ नहीं कर सकते तो 70 लाख कीजिए, कुछ तो कीजिए, कुछ लगे तो सही कि हाँ आप एक सही रास्ते पे जा रहे हैं। हम नहीं दिखाएंगे 35 करोड़ लोग मरने वाले हैं या बीमार होने वाले हैं, क्योंकि आप खुद कहेंगे, मैं नहीं कहूँगा। ये डाटा जो आप दिखा रहे हैं कि कल हमने 16,000, कल हमने 7,35,000 टेस्ट किए, अगर यहीं पर आएगा कि 70 लाख टेस्ट किए तो अपने आप साफ हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ये 70 लाख में ये 16,000 नहीं होगा, ये करीब करीब 70,000, 70 लाख में ये कुछ भी नहीं तो 7-8 लाख तो होगा, 5 लाख तो होगा, 3 लाख तो होगा, 2 लाख तो होगा, क्योंकि आपकी 2 पॉइंट एवरेज आ रही है। अगर आप 70 लाख कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो 2% लगा लीजिए, 1.5 लाख के आसपास होता है। ये बात समझिए। मैं कोई यहाँ खेल करने के लिए नहीं काम कर रहा, मैं गवर्नमेंट को बदनाम करना मेरा पर्पस नहीं है। मेरा पर्पस पब्लिक को संभालना है, पब्लिक की सहायता करना है, क्योंकि मैं जानता हूँ कैलकुलेशन ना तो जर्नलिस्ट को आती है, कैलकुलेशन ना टीवी वालों को आती है, और शायद आईएएस ऑफिसर को भी कैलकुलेशन नहीं आती होगी, और मिनिस्टर से तो हम उम्मीद ही नहीं करते। इसलिए मैं इनपुट दे रहा हूँ आपको, और मैं गवर्नमेंट को भी कहा है, दिखाया है, लेकिन शायद गवर्नमेंट को इन चीज़ों की आवश्यकता नहीं है, ऐसा लगता है। Government do not require all this. I think they are very strong people. They have everyone, and they mind it if somebody gives them. And I think they have not even responded to me. How they have moved on that. Therefore it's annoying actually. If someone is doing for sake of public of this country, for sake of health and safety, and government is sleeping on that, it's really very, very surprising. I don't consider the right attitude of government. The government should think in interest of people of India and not in their own interest. They want to say, oh, we don't want to say we have only 13.5% people tested. We don't want to tell you. We only want to tell you that see how many people we have saved, and only 16,000 people declared positive out of 735 tested. But what is that after all? Why you want to show that you care for nation or you care of this efficiency? Even then you are telling only this, but we understand from data what data is giving. So it's really very surprising why government is taking it personally, why they think, oh, they have done best in world. You have not done best in world, you have number one worst in world. This data is telling that. This 1107 is speaking that. This this 1279 is speaking that. This 35% down, the statistics is a drop in 35% cases. I mean, you did not test them. That's the reason. Otherwise, no reason. And there's no reason of this. This is a fake data, 16,504. And this is fact that 35 crore people are there who are infected. So what you're telling is nonsense. There possibilities of 11 crore if you do not do anything. This is what I say. We have to be very careful. Uh, this data which I have produced is very, very complicated now, of course, but it's based on easy information from government, and government is use this. I think I'm not charging anything. I'm not claiming any consultation fees from them. I'm just doing this in national service, social service. It's a part of my social service at national level. Though I'm sitting in room and doing this, but no meaning in going out. What shall I get outside? I'm just giving you this information, and people should use information. People should force government to use. After all, what you are losing if I'm giving you? I am spending my time. I am spending my energy. Okay, that's fine. It's my country. I'm paying back what I got from this country, but they are not receiving properly. People are not responding properly, and that's a really problem. Means if something is given to you free, you don't value that. If some journalist charge lakhs of rupees for this, you'll be happy in that case. If some consultant charges money and give you this information, you should be happy with that. But it is really foolishness that our people are not so serious and they are sleeping. Our government is not so serious and they are sleeping. And I am sorry to say, people are not even viewing this very efficiently. I'm not finding that audience which there should be for this seriousness. I think if this information given by England to these people, or by Germany to these people, or by UN to these people, oh, they will make you and cry, oh, see, we are getting this and that. No. Self-question is important in this world. I have to do myself. I have to find where I'm wrong. And I can declare, yes, I am wrong here. What's wrong with that? If I do some mistake by error or by ignorance, and I then discover that, I can tell, okay, there was some error, I'm correcting that. What's wrong with that? This is a profession. If you work, you correct your errors. If you work, you make mistakes, that's admissible. And if you say, no, there's no mistake, this means there's no work. And if there's no work, there's no mistake. Simple. So, my dear friends, don't think that I am spreading fear. Some people say that सरकार बहुत अच्छा कर रही है, बहुत अच्छा कर रही है. I think they do not know what they are talking. They think that I am opposition person, or they think that I am Congress person. Sometimes I laugh on that. People are crazy. Other than BJP or Congress, they do not know anything in this world. What is here in BJP and what is here in Congress? This is data. I'm just conducting analysis on that. Now, where is Congress and where is BJP involved in this? Or if I'm writing something and they do not digest that, what should I do? It's up to them. If they don't digest, if they do not understand analysis, if they do not understand what is analysis, I have done this for, how many entries are there? You can see there are about 107 entries till now. And these entries are quite adequate. These are quite adequate to know. If you say they are quite adequate, means you have plenty of entries now to understand, abstract, overall, means what we have done. You think this is telling us we have to withstand what we have done. We have not achieved anything, and that's what we have to worry about. And these results are telling that this result, you can say this result, this result, this result, this result, this result, this result. But there are so many outputs now and input for further action. If you want to take action, these are input. You can say, because a powerful input I am giving to people of India, Bharat, to government of Bharat. Even then, you are not happy, then I cannot say anything. It's not your happiness I'm concerned with. It's not pleasure of government I'm concerned with. It's not even anguish of government I'm concerned with. I am not concerned with those agencies. I am concerned with people of this country, though they also do not understand what I am writing and what I am speaking. And no problem, वो नहीं समझ रहे, लेकिन बार बार मैं कहता रहूँगा। ये मेरी, अगर मैं एनालिसिस कर रहा हूँ तो कहूँगा ज़रूर समझाने के लिए। अगर वो समझ जाते हैं तो ठीक है, नहीं समझते हैं तो भी ठीक है, क्या करे कोई इसमें। ये समझना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। हमारा देश क्यों पीछे रह जाता है। हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि हमारे देश में क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है या कैपेसिटी नहीं है, सब है, फिर भी हम नहीं समझना चाहते क्योंकि हम लापरवाही दिखाते हैं, केयरलेस हो जाते हैं, इग्नोरेंट हो जाते हैं। कुछ बातें हमारे सामने होती हैं फिर भी मुंह मोड़ लेते हैं, और जब तक हमारे नाक से पानी ऊपर नहीं जाता या आंखों से ऊपर नहीं जाता हम कुछ नहीं करते। अब जैसे वेरिएंट आया या आपका स्ट्रेन की बात आई कि नाक में आपके काला फंगस आ जाएगा, आपके आपकी आंखों में फंगस आ जाएगा या कुछ और हो जाएगा, आपके लंग्सों में ये हो जाएगा और आप बचेंगे नहीं, तो कुछ लोगों में पैनिक सा आ गया। मैं फिर कहता हूँ, पैनिक से बचें, होश में रहें, लेकिन सावधानी भी बरतें, अपना टेस्ट भी कराएं। अब टेस्ट कराने की बात आती है, खर्चा कौन करेगा। कोई सरकार को खर्चा करना है तो आप गवर्नमेंट के ऑफिस में जाइए, हॉस्पिटल में जाइए, वहाँ आपको इतनी आसानी से तो नहीं होने वाला। अगर आप खर्च सकते हैं तो अपना पैसा खर्च दीजिए। अरे एक बार कम से कम अपना तो होश में आ जाए, भूल जाइए मोदी क्या कर रहा है या मिनिस्टर क्या कर रहा है, भूल जाइए उनको सबको। वो आपके लिए नहीं कर रहे, ये पक्की बात है, उन्हें कुछ पता नहीं, वो सच बात तो ये, उन्हें पता ही नहीं वो क्या कर रहे हैं। हमारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर को, हमारा मंत्रियों को, हमारा दूसरों को जिनकी जिम्मेदारी है, उनको शायद मालूम ही नहीं कि क्या करना चाहिए। बस वो गफलत में, वो कंट्री क्या कर रही है हम भी ये कर लेते हैं, वो क्या कर रहे हैं हम भी ये कर लेते हैं, वो वैक्सीन बनाते हैं, उसमें लगे हुए हैं दिखाने के लिए कि हमने क्या किया। अरे वैक्सीन की जरूरत नहीं है, जरूरत संभालने की है। वैक्सीन से क्या होगा, इम्यूनिटी दे रहा है कुछ नहीं, और वेरिएंट की स्ट्रेन की इम्यूनिटी इसमें है ही नहीं। ये बातें भी इम्पोर्टेंट है। खैर कोई बात नहीं, अब संभलते हैं तो ठीक है, नहीं संभलते तो कोई क्या करेगा, कुछ नहीं कर सकता कोई आपका। बाकी आपकी मर्जी है, मैं ज़्यादा लंबा वीडियो नहीं करना चाहता, बंद करना चाहता हूँ इस वीडियो को, सिर्फ ये कह के कि आप होश में आ जाएं। आप होश में आ जाएं, सरकार होश में आ जाए। जो जोशीली बातें हैं उसको एक तरफ करें, क्योंकि अभी भी समय है, अभी भी हम अगर सबके टेस्ट कर लें, अभी भी करोड़ों लोगों की जानें बचाई जा सकती हैं। क्योंकि अब जो उनको लगेगा आने वाले समय में उनको डिस्चार्ज नहीं होगा, पक्की बात है, उनको डिस्चार्ज नहीं होगा, उनको पूरा चार्ज होगा। डिस्चार्ज उनका घर के लिए नहीं होगा, उनका डिस्चार्ज वहाँ के लिए होगा जो परमानेंट घर है। और आप कहेंगे हंस रहा है, क्या करूँ। कभी कभी जब माइंड कहता है कि अजीब सी बात हो रही है तो हंसना भी आता है। मतलब हम जानते हैं कि आगे खाई है, हम फिर भी कूदना चाहते हैं, जाना चाहते हैं, तो उससे बचने का एक ही रास्ता है, होश, जोश के साथ होश। होश आप लीजिए कि हमें कैसे बचना है इससे, और अब जो मुसीबत और आने वाली है, मजबूत वाली मुसीबत, उससे कैसे बचना है। ये बातें बहुत सावधानी बरतने की हैं। पढ़े लिखे लोग भी शायद बहुत कंट्रीब्यूशन दे सकते हैं इसमें, लेकिन नहीं दे रहे। मैं नहीं देख रहा फेसबुक पे या कहीं और कि इंटेलेक्चुअल्स इसके बारे में कुछ लिख रहे हों, कुछ बता रहे हों। शायद सब किसी को कोई चिंता नहीं है। मैंने 10-20 भी पोस्टिंग ऐसी नहीं देखी कुछ लोगों की कि इस बात करें इसमें, जबकि हमारे देश में लाखों लोग हैं इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, करोड़ों, बल्कि लाखों नहीं, लाखों इंजीनियर हैं, लाखों डॉक्टर हैं, लाखों वकील हैं जो पब्लिक को एजुकेट कर सकते हैं। लेकिन वो खुद भी शायद मास्क नहीं लगाते, खुद भी वो प्रिकॉशन नहीं लेते, चश्मे नहीं लगाते, और शायद गर्म पानी भी नहीं पीते होंगे। उबला हुआ। तो ये सब बातें हैं जो बहुत अजीब लगती हैं कहने में, लेकिन सच्चाई से परे नहीं है, सच्चाई के ऊपर है। और मैं किसी को यहाँ ये नहीं कह रहा कि वो गलत है, हो सकता है उनको इसकी परवाह ना हो, बल्कि उनको पता ही ना हो। मैं परवाह की बात कह नहीं रहा, उनको पता ही ना हो और वो उसको शायद अपनी ड्यूटी भी नहीं समझते हों। वो भूल जाते हैं कि वो भी इस देश के नागरिक हैं, और जो नागरिक इसको नहीं समझते उनको समझाना भी उनका एक मौलिक नहीं कह सकते आप, बल्कि एक मॉरल ड्यूटी है। मॉरल को क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में, खैर कुछ भी कहते होंगे। हमें अभी थोड़ा सा होश में रहना चाहिए। हो सकता है मेरी बात आपको लगे कि क्यों इतना बोले जा रहा है। मैं बोल इसलिए रहा हूँ कि मैं देख रहा हूँ आने वाले समय में कितनी प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगी, और वो प्रॉब्लम्स ऐसी होंगी कि हमारे पास उसका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी नहीं है। अगर आज हम समझ जाएं कि हमें कितना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिएगा, तो हम उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। और इसी बात को कह के मैं आप सबका धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि आपने अगर सुनना है मेरी बात को तो अच्छा लगेगा, नहीं सुनना तो आपकी मर्जी है। खैर मैं उसे फोर्स नहीं कर सकता किसी को, और उस बात के लिए आपको धन्यवाद।